Hello and welcome to News Now. Here are some stories we're tracking. My name is Margaret Opera. The House of Representatives on Tuesday passed for second reading a bill seeking to prohibit late and non-payment of workers and pensioners by employers. When it becomes law, employers will be entitled to interest on unpaid wages. Underpayment of workers and pensioners would be prohibited by the proposed law. This has been proposed in a legislation titled A Bill for an Act to Prohibit Late Payment, Non-Payment and Underpayment of Workers' Wages, Pension and Other Emolument in Nigeria and prescribes penalty for violations. Speaker of the House, Femi Gbajabiamila, had made the proposal in the Employees/Workman Unpaid Wages Prohibition Bill 2016 at the last National Assembly. The legislation was recalled for reconsideration by the 9th Assembly. The House passed the first reading in July 2019. The Independent Corrupt Practices Commission, ICPC, on Tuesday arraigned a director in Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, Dr. Solomon Ita, for alleged diversion of 45 million naira. The ICPC also arraigned Gabriel Nathaniel, a staff in the Accounts Department of the Abuja Metropolitan Management Council AMC, over allegations bordering on the diversion of about 3 billion naira from his office. They were arraigned separately before Justice Zainab Abubakar of a Federal High Court Abuja, where they pleaded not guilty to the charges preferred against them. Ita, a director in the Department of Community and Rural Development of the NDDC, was arraigned on a 4-count charge, while Nathaniel was arraigned on a 14-count charge. In a charge by the ICPC through its lawyer, Otuobeni Akpomishiga, Ita was said to have diverted part of the funds paid for a contract awarded to Group Radiant Women Association. In count 1, Ita was accused of having sometime in September 2018 or thereabout indirectly taken possession of the sum of 22.4 million naira through his bank account. A Federal High Court sitting in the Maturu has ordered the All Progressive Congress to submit the names of Bashir Sharif Machina as the authentic candidate for Yobe North Senatorial District after affirming the 28 May 2022 primary election conducted by the party. Justice Fidamatu Mutala, in a judgment delivered today in the Maturu, also nullified the parallel primary election of 9th June 2022 that produced President of the Senate Ahmad Lawan. Counsel to the second dependent Kolawole Balogun told newsmen that his clients would have appropriately advised on the next move. And away from that, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has destroyed 1,828 blocks of seized cocaine in Lagos State. The illicit substance was part of the 1.8 tons of cocaine consignment seized by the officers of the agency last week in a warehouse in the Ikorodu area of Lagos. According to the agency, the remnants will be secured for the purpose of prosecution of the suspect. The Director of Prosecution and Legal Services of the NDLEA, Sunday Mbona, explained that the agency is proceeding with the trial of the suspects. Troops of Operation Forest Sanity have rescued 7 people who were kidnapped by bandits in Bringwari and Jinkun local government area of Kaduna State. The victims were rescued during a military operation. According to the Kaduna Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Araran, the troops came under fire from bandits while on patrol along the Bringwari Gayam Kuriga Manini axis. He said that they, however, returned fire and promptly subdued the bandits who fled into the forest, leaving behind the captives in their custody. The unarmed gunmen on Tuesday attacked Igongon police station in the Igbakpa North local government area of Oyo State, killing divisional crime officer and a suspect who was in detention. A top senior police officer said the divisional police officer, an inspector and some suspects were on a danger list as a result of gun wounds. When contacted, the state police public relations officer, a superintendent of police, Adewale Osifeso, confirmed the incident, stating the commissioner of police was on his way to the scene. Now, as Nigerian Max has 62nd independent anniversary, stakeholders in the health sector are calling for proper funding and infrastructural development in the country. iBrandTV in its report quotes stakeholders as saying that the sector is near collapse.
According to the World Health Organization, Nigeria's healthcare system is the fourth worst in the world, with the lowest life expectancy after the Central African Republic, Lesotho, and Chad. With available data from the United Nations, the root of early death in Nigeria is a healthcare system that is virtually collapsed due to lack of investment. Experts see most public hospitals in the country as mere consulting rooms, lacking basic medical equipment.
Government have to do their part, and also the so-called big men, people that have billions. Please, let's look about health issues for people dying of just minor illnesses. Probably when they tell you, yeah, I'm dying of lump in my bone, I'm dying of lump in my, whereas their early diagnosis, because of money, if you want to do a CT scan now, they'll be telling you to go and get 95,000. A person staying in a room of 60,000, how do you expect it to do a CT scan of 95,000? Meaning that person can die because of 90,000, that just a bottle of wine in a club. Meaning that please let our government and people that have access to government to look into equipment and etc. which are able to build it up, not because of individual. Everybody is going to die, but people coming, the children and people coming. When good health is given, you have a good result.
Budget for health in the entire country is little above $1.07 billion, less than half the budget for St. Thomas Hospital in the United Kingdom. Nigeria's health sector has suffered from acute underfunding for many years.
Their equipment to do all this, their latest antihypertensive equipment and different things that Nigeria doesn't have access to it. That's why the so-called politicians or big men going there, they are going there for equipment. They are not going there for experience, because the same expert that is there are Nigerians. Nigerians are there to make use of those equipment. Is that if they can probably create those, we have access to those equipment, that we have a very good centers, maybe in Lagos State or in Abuja, that everything is there in latest equipment, and we are trained to make use of that equipment, and we don't create classes. You know, the problem about this country is that we create classes when it comes to things. You don't need to create classes when it comes to health issues. Diabetes is diabetes, cancer is cancer, gonorrhea is gonorrhea, malaria is malaria. Let's give a standard principle for standard management, for standard diagnosis. For they can probably subsidize those things for a free people. When you subsidize those things, they can have access to free health care.
While the country marks her 62nd birthday, its leaders still rely on jetting out of the country to get the needed medical care from the United Kingdom and other parts of the world.
Sometimes you are seeing a doctor at Oshodi, they will tell you to go and do a test at Yaba, or they will tell you to go and do a test at Yanoba, meaning that the distance of going and the traffic level, it affects individual. Or sometimes even the drug prescribed are not even available in that premises, meaning that you have to source for how to get the drug, you have to source how to get the money, and you have to source how to apply what you've got.
Experts are of the opinion that if the health sector is not given the needed urgent attention, the country will be lacking medical practitioners in the nearest future. iBrandTV reporting for iBrandTV News.
The Oyo State Council of the Traditional Religious Practitioners has called on government in all levels to accede to its demand by setting aside a public holiday in commemoration of traditional worshippers across the country. Chairman of the council, Ifalere Odegbemi Odegbola, made the call in Ibadan, Oyo State capital.
From past 10 years ago, we are appealed to all the governors in Oyo State that we need holiday. You know that it's different for Sango holiday or Ifa holiday. Holiday is for all the traditional religion in Oyo State, and is easily doing by the Aregbesola in Osun State, and all our governor in Yoruba State. We are asking them and they didn't do that. In Oyo State, former governor, we are send our letter to the House of Assembly, and they accept it. Governor cannot sign it. At the same time, this present Governor Oluseyi Makinde, before we elect for 3 years ago, he went to all the our temple, and only thing we are asking him is public holiday for his day. Till this time, he couldn't do that.
100 youth in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, have been trained in youth empowerment and modern methods of plumbing and its applications. Speaking at the event, Vice Chairman, who also doubles as the Chief Executive Officer at the Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, Mohammed Sani Haruno, hinted that the 100 plumber participants were selected through due diligence and have been equipped with modern methods in plumbing and its application in Oyo State.
Project itself is a nationwide project for capacity building of youths so that they can be gainfully employed and they will be able to also employ others. But most importantly, addressing the gaps, the challenges we are having in the building industries. It is very annoying to come and see your places being leaking. But it is not only in water supplies, even in gas.
The agenda of Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari from day one is how to empower youth and other Nigerians, especially in their area of expertise.
In line with the directive of the President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, the federal government adopted a resolution calling for immediate, targeted and renewed action to tackle the youth unemployment crisis. They came up with initiatives like this to fill the gap of unemployment and reduction of youth restiveness through youth empowerment for self-sustenance.
We'll go on a commercial break now. African news after the break.